Today I try to go through the entirety of Dark Souls 1 on keyboard only. But after defeating any one of these major bosses, I have to remove one of my fingers until I reach the final boss of the game that I have to beat with only one finger left. As you can imagine, the early parts of the run went quite smoothly, so let's get through that quickly and I'll see you guys after Anor Londo. Wait, this is a terrible idea. This finger just doesn't want to go up anymore. Whoa. Yeah! Okay, let me go and see Bob. Guys, he is safe, I swear. See? Little Estes. That was quite a big chunk of musical montage. I feel like I'm not that good at it yet, but goddamn does it feel amazing to try and time some actions to the beat of the music. As for the run, this is where it starts getting tricky. I have 5 fingers left, 4 of them being on my left hand to be able to move around and roll, and 1 on my right hand that takes care of blocking, attacking, and moving the camera. Since from this point on I have to remove 1 of my fingers for each of the lords, I decided to start with the one that can be the hardest in my opinion, Nito. Then I will fight Bait of Chaos, followed by Sif, and finish with the 4 kings. And no more just putting some silly music over sped up footage, I'll explain a bit of what's going on from this point on. Okay. For real now. No more montage. My next objective is to reach Bed of Chaos, and it was starting to get quite difficult to be honest. First because my fingers were all numb and sweaty under the tape, but also because I now only had 2 fingers for WASD instead of 3. I died a bunch of time to the Centipede Demon because I couldn't cut his freaking tail, but after getting the ring, it went quite smoothly. Okay, so now we can run through lava. Bait of Chaos was so scary in my mind because of the limited control I had over my character, yet I managed to only die once and it wasn't even from falling off, so that's a win in my book. On to Sif. The archives were tough to navigate but nothing out of the ordinary, and the crystal caves were surprisingly calm and relaxing. The boss itself is a pushover at this point, and even with only 3 fingers, all I really needed to do was to go back and forth anyway. I always felt weird about Sif because getting his tail is so hard in comparison to some other bosses, but fighting him normally is easier than Asylum Demon. With 2 fingers left, I wasn't able to realistically roll attacks consistently anymore. My hope was that I could face tank the 4 kings and chug 20 Estus Flasks while slamming them with my +2 Dragon Tooth, and it actually was a pretty good plan. Once again, an interesting decision for such a late game boss to have such a glaring weakness. Their sword doesn't really hit for a lot of damage when you stand close to them, so even if you don't roll, it doesn't really hurt too bad. Ah, yes, that's a feels good right there. With the Lord Souls in my hands, I taped my last left hand finger off and ventured into the kiln of the First Flame. I needed to defeat all the knights since I couldn't outrun them, and then face Gwyn, and all of that with just 1 finger. I changed my key bindings to be able to access everything with my right hand and marched onwards. Oh, and remember what I said about not editing to the beat of the music anymore and actually commentating on what I'm doing? Yeah, f*** that. Going for it.